Hello, I'm Jordana Borenstein, and let's talk about fear. Boom, boom. I know it's a massive topic, but I want to address it because I am a public speaking coach and trainer, and one of the biggest obstacles to people expressing their authenticity, their joy, their love, their passion, their sole purpose with the world is the fear of everything. A fear of judgment, a fear of criticism, a fear of failure, a fear of stumbling over our words, a fear of looking like an idiot, a fear of what other people will think. And ultimately, everyone has fears. Some of us are better at masking it and managing it than other people, which means we can't actually see it when we're on stage. But we all experience fear. And ultimately, it really all comes down to the same thing. Am I good enough? What are people going to think of me? And can I actually do this? And the answers to that are, can I do this? Yes, 100%. Am I good enough? Absolutely. In our spirit, not our ego, because our ego tells us otherwise. And I can't remember what my first question was, but as you can see, this is an impromptu video, not planned. So let's look at one of the fears, for example, and the way that I like to teach around it. I love to use humor because humor is a really powerful tool that helps us dissolve our fear and also look at situations completely differently, because I was a stand-up comedian 13 years ago for a good 7 years, and I still use comedy every single time I present. And it's so important because it gives us a different perspective on life. It teaches us to look at situations differently, and especially when it comes to our fears, it allows us to diffuse them so beautifully. So if we were going to look at the fear of, I don't want to get on stage because I'm terrified that I'm going to stumble over my words and people are going to think I'm an idiot. So our fears feel so intense in our mind because we intensify them. So as the saying goes, where focus goes, energy flows. And so when we focus on our fears, obviously they're going to get much worse. So if we're thinking, I don't want to stumble, I don't want to stumble, I don't want to stumble, what are we doing? We're just directing energy towards stumbling. And in the moment that it happens, we will actually tense up so much more, which makes the fear so much more intense, and therefore the disconnect between the brain and the body is far more likely to actually happen. So I like to use humor in the way that, let's change this a little bit. So if I was to ask you, it's an exaggeration technique, what is the worst thing that could happen if you stumbled over your words on stage? So in our mind, and when we believe our fear and when we listen to it, we're like, oh gosh, I will never recover, and people will judge me, and I can't do this, and if I make one mistake, I'll make a mistake forever, and I will never, ever, 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 ever recover ever again in life. So I'm here to tell you that it is totally not true. Because if we see someone get up on stage and they stumble, we don't go, oh my gosh, I hate you. You are terrible, and I never want to see you again in my life. We don't do that at all. We go, you know what? Amazing. Good on you for getting up. Amazing that you trusted yourself. Incredible that you had the courage to actually step up on stage when clearly this is a new space for you. Brilliant that you allowed yourself to actually have this experience. Absolutely incredible. What a brave spirit. What a brave soul. What an amazing person. And we give them an extra round of applause because we love that they've done something that so many of us are so afraid of doing. So if we listen to our own fears, we're blocking ourselves off from fulfilling our dreams, taking that brand new step in an incredible career, saying something that might change our life or someone else's, sharing our message, which is the most important thing in the world, because when we're sharing our message, we have no idea of the ripple effect that it will actually have and how many beautiful lives we can actually reach and teach in the process. So the tip for this video is to try to use humor, the exaggeration technique, to blow the fear out of proportion, because ultimately, as I said, we all have the same fears, but they feel so intense that we think we're the only ones with them. So if I think I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to make a mistake, and no one else on the day makes a mistake, oh my God, I'm the only person that's made a mistake, and this is terrible. Whereas someone else might have made a mistake. We don't know what's in their content. We don't know what they've prepared, but they've just flown over it and they haven't drawn attention to it. So often what we perceive and what we think is really good or was done really well. They might have their own stuff going on, and often we all do, because when we step out there to put ourselves either on camera or on stage, it's brand new territory for us. So we need to be super forgiving for any mistakes that happen. We need to be ready for the mistakes to actually happen, and we need to be full of self-love and just so proud of ourselves that we took a step forward and actually invested in ourselves and took a leap of faith to have this experience, because it makes us way better next time. I hope that helped. Thank you. And please subscribe, because I'm going to be coming back with so many more amazing tips and insights from everything I've learned, from comedy, from keynote speaking, from workshop training, from doing magic, from doing mentalism, from stage, off stage, on stage, and I love to share it all with you. So please subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching.